Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. End of day webinar for today. It's May 24th, 2017. I got a couple of topics to cover, guys, so this will probably run us right into the close today. But yeah, really nice day in chat today. A few of the trades I missed, you guys picked up in chat, which was awesome. And my trade of the day today was actually GLBS, which just gave one of the best, I mean, as far as long setups go, I think this was the best setup out there, which typically what I'm going to go after going into 2 p.m. is I'm just going to flip through all the charts and just look for whatever the absolute best looking long setup is. And as long as it's meeting my criteria for a signal with a low risk entry, I'm going to go for it. So that was the case today with GLBS. So I guess we'll start by going over that trade, which, for those of you that have been on the stream today, you followed along with it, and congrats on a beautiful outcome on a very low risk entry. We'll dissect that one a little bit first, and then I'll go into a couple other tickers that I wanted to cover from today. So the afternoon trade today on GLBS began with a huge run up, and I was actually to lunch when it started the run up. So when I got back, I noticed that it had started to kind of top out at 50, and then if you guys remember, and you can go back and listen to the footage, which I'll have posted up later on the website, but I was looking for a dip and a retest of around one, just basically to the 50 EMA, and then look for it to kind of come back and to start to base out and set up to give us a signal to, get long, have a clear risk plan, and lead us to a nice finishing trade for the day. Luckily, though, we have, Drew in chat, who is an excellent researcher, and he's a big part of our team, now, like in terms of working together with me to put together trade ideas where we can kind of mix the fundamental research with the technical signals that I trade. So it's a really nice team effort in that sense. And although a lot of the trades I take are still just going to be technical trades, it definitely doesn't hurt to know things like that this company is trying to exercise warrants over 160 per share, which he dug up through the SEC filings, which kind of helped us figure out the end game on this one today. So if I have, a good long signal, a good setup that we can trade on the long side with a low risk entry, plus we know, hey, they may want to be, selling warrants over 160 today, for example, that can really, really help kind of, give us an extra catalyst, an extra reason to go for that trade and really, really understand what the end game is for it. Same goes for HMNY, which, as you guys know, my price target on HMNY was 320. It's probably going to go lower. It even hit 3 today, and they'll probably do an offering after hours even. So we'll see how that one ends up. But unfortunately, I kind of lost my patience on this one today, moving on to other tickers, and it turned out to be a sweet trade into the close on the short side. But Eli in chat made an awesome call on that one. He's been short since 377, and he's still short some. I think he's probably going to get a home run out of this one, depending on what the story is into the close today. But again, with HMNY, it was another case of, Drew helping us by digging through the SEC filings and finding out a lot of good dirt on this company and their intentions, going deep into like some real like interesting things in the filings about their underwriters and stuff like that. So I won't get into that too much right now, but for those of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about the fundamental research, this is an incredible webinar. Nice introduction to it that Drew, our moderator in chat, did a few weeks ago. It's right in the members portal when you first log in. Just check that out. Fundamental Research Webinar with Drew. It's a really nice introduction to just give you an idea of some of the things to look for in the filings if you're digging through them. And if you're looking at bigger picture trades, I mean, for me, I'm still typically trading. I'm trading signals and triggers. I'm looking for trades out there on a daily basis where I can risk 5 or 10 cents to make 30 or 40 or more. But then there's certain trades where we have just so much fundamental bias that we can actually just hold them a little bit longer. For example, more recently, like INPX, which I swung short. So there's some good opportunities there on both sides. I'm still, a lot of time I'm just focused on leading us into easy trades where there's a good signal, a good risk reward scenario. We get long, we nail it. But then there's cases where we may want to hold longer. So yeah, Drew is Bark Trader, for those of you who don't know. And he's a real asset to our team. So thanks again, Drew, for all your help. So yeah, let's go into GLBS, guys. My final sell on this one was, my entry was 142, and I admitted that I actually think that for my standards that entry was a little bit late. Actually a little bit early, but it wasn't the best entry I've ever gotten. The idea here was, again, looking for a run up. We wanted to come back, correct, and then just start kind of channeling a little bit and get us a signal to get long. I got a little bit eager to get in this one because, again, for a few reasons. One is because we had some fundamental research we believe that ultimately this is going to be a nice short for us over the next few days. Maybe once we're done exercising those warrants, but for now we're just trading the chart in front of us, and it's a long. It's 100% a long setup, so we trade it as we see it. This is the setup. Was looking for a long signal somewhere between 140 and maybe 144, anticipating this break back out and look for a nice finish. So this is what happened, guys. Is I got a little bit impatient here. I was a bit scared that I was going to miss. I was a little scared I was going to miss the opportunity for this to break back out, and I thought that maybe it got a little crowded on the short side in here. So sometimes these can actually just sort of break out a little faster than you expect. And with INO this morning, that huge short on INO this morning, I actually missed the opportunity to enter that one. There was one morning spike that was good to get in. I kind of missed the entry, and then from there I found it difficult to find a good risk-reward spot. So I actually held off, and while most of you guys banked huge on INO, I sat back and waited for another trade, which ended up being GLBS. So, by the way, congratulations on the INO trade for all you guys that got it. Penny Flipper, Eli, all you guys just did a great job. So congrats, Bark Trader, Drew. But yeah, so I focused on GLBS this afternoon. This was my bread and butter. So ended up being a long trade. And yeah, I was just kind of thinking that it looked like they were starting to trap shorts a little early there. So I got in a bit early. I got in around 42.5 was my average rate in here. And so it kind of touched on 44, pulled back a little bit. The stop was actually 30 on a 35 break. I would have stopped out. So it's a little early there, but very comfortable with the risk, and I liked the pattern. So it ended up holding, and it came back, and it took some ads through 45 as well. And typically, like, once it's broken out, as you guys know, if you followed along in the chat room or on the stream, I just will, move the stop up pretty quickly to protect our entry. So kind of just move the stop up right away to 40. Not necessarily a hard stop, but like a mental stop. And yeah, it ended up channeling really nicely over 50 here, which gave me a lot of confidence that we were going to get a secondary push. I was actually watching for another signal, and I almost got one, but just ended up keeping the original position and not getting too crazy with ads on it. The final sells for this one for me were 162 and 172. The 72 one was on the downswing right here. So it was after it kind of topped out at 77. And I was going to actually sell into a push over 80. But as I told you guys, I kind of had my sell order loaded just below the bid in case I needed to hit it. And I made the decision to hit the bid at 72. And luckily, not only a minute and a half later, it actually started to dump. So, but yes, I mean, overall, guys, we were looking at a trade that ultimately was, maybe 7 cents risk to start, and turned out to be a really nice trade. About 20%. So really nice push there. Very happy with the outcome of GLBS. I think this is going to give us another opportunity or two tomorrow. So we're going to keep this one on the top of the watch list, guys. And I was watching 140 as a main kind of area for this trade earlier. Let's just move this up to 160 is going to be the new area of interest for us tomorrow morning. So we'll plot that. And as you guys know, GLBS is exercising warrants over 160. They get 30 million, I think, to sell. So we'll be watching for, over the next day or two, if enough volume comes in, maybe they'll get through them. And either way, guys, in the meantime, we'll just continue to place signals and triggers on it. And ultimately, the end game over the next 2 or 3 days is probably going to be an epic fader back down. So really looking forward to taking a few more trades on this stock tomorrow and the next day if they line up properly. So GLBS, awesome job, really, really solid trade, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the commentary all the way through it. For HMNY, yeah, again, bar trader Drew, his research was just so spot on with this. The timing, as I mentioned, the timing is still important. If you go back in the webinars section of our website, you will find a webinar that I did called kind of focuses on the timing versus the fundamentals, because it's still really important. You know, you can know everything you want to know, but it's not going to help you if you're shorting way too early and you're getting squeezed, right? So talks a little bit about timing. I still like to use my trigger points and signals to, you know, enter these stocks, but it's always good to know when there's an end game in sight, which with HMNY was very clear. So again, congrats to anyone that held on to that short throughout the chop over the last day and a half. The only other chart I liked today into the close that I mentioned was ANF. I didn't actually trade this one myself, but I was mentioning to look for a long over 13.15 here going into 2 p.m. So I mean, I don't know, it gave like about a 20-cent trade. So that was a little something, but basically we took the best, like we usually do, just kind of went for the best looking chart and looked for a low risk entry and kind of nailed it. There wasn't much else out there, so PBYI is pretty strong, but there wasn't too much else out there. That's actually a really nice looking chart right now, guys. PBYI. Too bad it's so late in the day. We'll keep that one on watch for tomorrow. Yeah, so guys, that's pretty much it. You know, INO. What again? Bark Drew with the research helped give us the bias on the short side. Unfortunately, for myself, I didn't get the entry. It was a very tough one to not feel like you were chasing it after it was already down so much. So a bunch of you guys shorted the opening spike on this one, which was the absolute best you could do after the bell. As you can see, it didn't even come back to this price after the bell. But since then, the only other spot I was thinking to short, I was going to get in here at around 9-10, but that just felt like such a chase. I decided, you know, screw it. So yeah, INO was a miss for me, but you know, stayed patient today, turned around, nailed GLBS, so I'm really happy with that. Other than that, guys, I think we'll call it a day. If you're interested in reviewing the trade on GLBS, I'll have that posted in the members portal for you guys tonight when I get back from the gym. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out and chat, and we'll go over them. And other than that, guys, just keep up the great work, man. I mean, especially, you know, Penny Flipper lately has been absolutely crushing it in chat. His calls on Momo, I mean, just phenomenal stuff, man. This guy has been trading just excellent. So keep up the good work, man. That guy works hard too. He's up at night studying charts, and it really pays off. Congratulations, Brian, on putting together a nice little trade in GLBS with us. It'd be awesome if we could get you to hold on to the last quarter a little longer. But I'm really happy you got a nice win there, man. For a newer trader that's been working hard, you know, to make things happen. So congrats again, guys. Have an awesome night. Thanks again. We'll see you first thing tomorrow morning for the watch list.